That's it. That's his track record of producing NFL talent. That is his track record as a college coach. We have no idea what Deion is without his son at quarterback.
The college programs that bring in a 5-star quarterback and a 5-star tackle generally do okay regardless of some of the other talent around. So expectations are much higher with primetime, but he puts those expectations on himself.
This, I believe, is his first true test as a college football coach. We will now see the first true season of his coaching career that he has not coached some combination of his son Shedeur at quarterback, his other son Shiloh at safety, and who he kind of refers to as, I know not legally, but spiritually, his adopted son, Travis Hunter, who was the second pick of the NFL draft. A little bit by the numbers here for Deion Sanders. Year number 1 at Jackson State was a COVID-shortened spring season. They played spring football that year. He went 4-3. One of those wins was in a forfeit that season. That was the one year he did not have Shedeur. Shedeur was on campus, was not eligible to play that spring season. So then the spring of 2021, Shedeur was there to play. They went 11-2. 2022, they go 12-1. So improvement. First year at Colorado, I believe they were 2-10 the year before. They go 4-8 in year 1 with Travis Hunter on that roster, Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh Sanders, everyone else he brought over. Not good, not terrible, I guess. Some improvement from the year before, but you would still expect a little bit more given the players that came with Deion that year.
And the start.
Right, and the start. And this past year, Hutton, 9-4, losing the bowl game, and now we move to an era, the post-Shedeur, post-Travis Hunter era. Now, players drafted under Deion Sanders. They had 4 this year. Hunter, number 2 overall. Shedeur Sanders went in the 5th round. LeJounte Wester and Jimmy Horn Jr., 2 pint-sized receivers. Both guys are about 5'8", 5'9", speedy receivers. Both went in the 6th round of this draft. Outside of that, James Houston, who is still on the Browns roster as a linebacker, played 1 year for him, his first year at Jackson State, played a season after transferring over from Florida. And Isaiah Bolden, who is still with the New England Patriots, was a 7th-round pick after spending 2 years with Deion at Jackson State after transferring from Florida State to go to Jackson State. That's it. That's his track record of producing NFL talent. That is his track record as a college coach. We have no idea what Deion is without his son at quarterback.
Well, and without Travis Hunter.
Which is an even bigger part of it.
I
shouldn't say that. The quarterback is the biggest part of it. Even with his team, it's the biggest part. But he had the Heisman Trophy winner in Travis Hunter also, which is a very big
Colorado.
part.
Yeah,
right.
And so here's what else he had. He has Travis Hunter, who's at Florida State, who's the 5-star. Follow him everywhere he went. He also has, the 35th, 36th, 37th nationally ranked recruiting class that's in on this year, I believe. And he has a 4 or 5-star quarterback coming in, does he not?
Yes, he does.
He also, the quarterback from East Carolina is now there as well, the former Tennessee QB.
No, from Liberty.
From Liberty, thank you. From Liberty.
Caden Salter.
I mean,
Julian Lewis, by the way, is the 5-star quarterback.
Thank you.
That's headed in.
He has talent that he's bringing with him now. Not just, again, it's the high school talent that I'm focused on at quarterback because the players you're mentioning either followed him from Jackson State or they were 1 year, 2 year stopgap players that he replaced whenever he got to Colorado when he kicked everyone off the team. Said you're not needed here if you're not good enough. He turned it around at Colorado fast. He had a Heisman Trophy winner at Colorado in year 2. Now, could that have been anywhere with Travis Hunter? Yeah, especially this past year where you didn't have the quarterback come up and grab the quarterback award, which is the Heisman Trophy. But Chad, he took the sport by storm, really. And now it's still the primetime brand, and we will still see it on the national stage. Can he coach? Look, his coaching staff is very interesting. He's got Pat Shurmur, who gets a lot of pub at offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But that's not the only NFL connection. He's got a lot of friends, but also former players, right? Let's see. Warren Sapp, everyone knows Warren Sapp. I didn't know this. Marshall Faulk He's a running backs coach.
Yeah,
At Colorado.
that was a recent hire.
He has a couple of other former players on the staff as well.
And I don't even know what that even means. Like, I don't know if those guys are any good.
But can they
their
coach?
names. That's exactly my point. Like, I don't even know if Deion can coach. And I'm not saying this to just rain on Deion's parade and all the attention he's gotten and all that. Like, I legitimately don't know. I'm not saying it's been bad. Like, they got Colorado to 9-4,
right?
Which is accomplishment. They produced a Heisman Trophy winner and number 2 overall pick, a guy that he has a relationship with going a long way back. But still, they had that at Colorado. That's a big accomplishment. But when you look at everything, he's 13-12 after 2 years in Boulder. Yep. It's not all great. And I'm looking at their current roster, and right now they've got an Oklahoma State transfer in DJ McKinney, a corner, who may go in the top 2 rounds of next year's draft. I'm trying to project to future NFL talent.
That's good.
Jordan Seaton, 5-star offensive tackle. He's a future NFL draft pick on the roster right now. Omarion Miller could be a future NFL draft pick. Outside of that, there's not a ton of top-notch NFL talent when you look at that roster.
Let me say this, though.
That's just no-brainer guys, which Hutton leads me to say we're going to find out how good of a coach he is now.
Let's look at
now that he's having to coach some guys up.
So, and develop, no doubt. But the college programs that bring in a 5-star quarterback and a 5-star tackle generally do okay regardless of some of the other talent around them. And again, playing to the level of where they are. And normally that level is Big Ten or SEC. So expectations are much higher with primetime, but he puts those expectations on himself. I will also point out, I watched this, it is, what's the name of their company? Well Off Media. They do like the behind the scenes, on the sideline deal. It was on the road at Baylor. Was it Baylor or TCU where they were playing? And it was Baylor. And they're on the sideline. The crowd's getting into it. They're, taunting back and forth, crowd and players. And Deion's very calm, cool, and collected on the sideline. And he's letting his coaches coach, which I think is important. And then he gets involved whenever, there's a decision to be made on which play, if it's a run down in distance, which play he thinks is best for Shedeur. So now what's best for Caden Salter or whoever Julian Lewis, whoever they choose to put in at quarterback in that moment. I do think he does a pretty good job of staying level-headed in the moment. Byron Leftwich, by the way, is the other player I'm thinking of. A quarterback coach, an assistant head coach probably. I mean, because he
at Colorado?
Yeah, because he was I said he should be the next head coach at Tampa Bay whenever Brady was there.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't have a terrible staff by any means, but can he elevate without his son? Here's the real test, Chad. Can he stay that same calm, cool, and collect without Shedeur? He's never coached without him, without Shiloh. That's the intriguing part is can he not let it be a distraction? And not Shiloh and Shedeur. Can he not let it be a distraction?
I think we're going to know a lot after this year.
I think it's a great point.
Like if they go 8-4 again, we're going to say, hey, he's got it rolling at Colorado. 8-4 at Colorado is a great accomplishment, and he's done it back-to-back years. He did it with his son and with a Heisman Trophy winner, and now they came back and did it with a new quarterback and other players he's recruited there. He's a good football coach. If they revert back to 4-8, he's going to get a lot of criticism. Because it's going to look like, we just bought it was a package deal. We bought the hype. We bought a guy who's going to come in and give us a ton of promotion and get us talking about our brand and our program. But what we really bought was his kid and his kid's friend. And that kid's friend turned out to be the Heisman Trophy winner. And that kid turned out to be a really good college quarterback that went in the 5th round. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
I know.
Hutton, the 2025 season kicks off on a Friday night on national television of opening weekend at Folsom Field in Boulder, Colorado against Georgia Tech. That's awesome.
That's great.
That is a great, Power 4 versus Power 4 game to get things started on a Friday night. And we're going to know a lot about Caden Salter at quarterback, if it's going to be him or Julian Lewis. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a blast. And then so they then take on Delaware. They go on the road at Houston, then Wyoming at home. That's another great game. Wyoming's known for, that will be one of the upset, wrong team favored for us, I bet.
Right. I think also they're getting this year, if you're looking for some advantages of the schedule,
yes,
they're getting a lot of their top competition at home this year. So they get Iowa State, who's going to be really good with Rocco Becht at quarterback. They get him in Boulder. They get
Arizona at home.
BYU is a big one to get, who could be a top 10 team at home. They do have to go to places like West Virginia and Kansas State.
Back at TCU.
With Avery Johnson, which is going to be very tough. But, I look at this schedule and I say, it's, 6-6, 7-5 type team.
Yep.
But get to 8-4, you're exceeding expectations. Fall below 6-6, we're all going to be saying you can't coach.
And the year prior, he had those saying, if you get to a 16-team college football playoff, Colorado's in the playoff.
Yeah.
Here is Deion addressing the team for the first time that they had a team meeting without Shedeur, without Travis Hunter, without Shiloh in the meeting room.
I can't explain how happy and how thoughtful and how thankful I am for this day. I've been praying about this day. I've been anticipating this day. You got to understand, it's an emotional day for me. This is the first day I've been up here without two knuckleheads. And I'm looking back. Shiloh told me I was going to get mad at him for not being in the meeting today, knowing he don't supposed to be in the meeting today. So, but this is the first day I'm coaching without my boys, which is a pleasure and an honor for me. So now I can just be a coach. I don't have to be my dad. And I like that, and I love that. But I feel like I'm going to treat somebody in here, or the multitude of y'all in here, like you, my sons, because I love y'all just that much, because you could have chose anybody, but you chose us. And I feel like you chose me. So I'm proud of it.
And they did.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I think his message there reminds me, he's Penny Hardaway falls into this category. He's been a father figure for many young men over the course of many years. Right?
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, but there are many versions of that, just not at the Heisman level that everyone knows the name of. So I do think, he mentions like he doesn't have to be a dad at practice. I do think that will continue to be the case. But, there's a different level of pride and publicity and PR, quite frankly, that comes with that. There's a different glow when he's talking about Shedeur.
Guys, can we roll that video back with no sound, too, as we look at it one more time? Because there's something I want to point out about this video that really just jumped off the screen to me the first time I saw it. Deion makes cargo pants look cool.
Oh, I miss cargo pants.
And
they zip off, too, in the shorts.
I think that's very difficult to do. There was a dad at field day at my kid's school today that was wearing cargo shorts. And I turned to my buddy. I said, I didn't know anybody still wore cargo shorts. He didn't pull it off to the level that Coach Prime is pulling off the cargo pants here. You could tell they zip in the middle, too, where they can become shorts.
They turn into shorts.
Yeah.
I say, like,
well done, Deion.
So you've got the mom jeans that came back around, right? Like the 70s became back.
The high-waisted.
Yeah, you've got soon they'll be back to more of the the hippie phase will be back.
Yeah.
Whatever. When do cargo shorts come back into
Well, so
who
mom
determines
jeans
that?
I think mom jeans are like an early to mid to late 90s thing. So that's about 25, 30 year separation. It's usually every 30 years.
Yeah.
So I would say cargo pants is like 05 to 010 or cargo shorts.
That was big in high school for me. It was just
Then,
early 2000,
my point
99.
is, I think we're 3 to 5 years away, Hut, for them coming back in style. Or maybe Coach Prime is just setting this trend right now and telling us that it's acceptable to wear cargo pants.
What about
again.
carpenter pants? Remember those with the little hook on it?
Yeah,
those are the most comfortable pants ever.
I remember going to Hollister and buying carpenter pants.
I walked through Abercrombie & Fitch. And then
Abercrombie & Fitch had some great carpenter pants.
Like just pure sex.
Yes, Eddie Bauer sold great carpenter pants also. My buddy was funny. He's like, the utility of the cargo
American
short is
Eagle?
great. Like, he really liked it for all the pockets. He's like, it's actually,
I loved it.
It's very serviceable. It's great for utility work.
I mean, you see the bag I bring in. Can you imagine me with cargo shorts?
I mean, you'd have everything you need right there. Located directly next to your crotch. Everything.
I was more confident because of that.
I mean, there's no one questioning Coach Prime's confidence.
No.
Maybe the cargo pants are a part of that confidence.
Oh, really, what you're saying, Chad, is the question, do you believe? We answer that question this season.
Ed Werder is going to
believe?
Ed Werder's going to be at a press conference, Hutton, and he's going to be able to give his final grade on Deion Sanders and whether or not he's a good coach.
We're
all going to find out together.
What a great. It was Ed Werder who said, "What do I believe? What?"
I do truly love Deion Sanders, though, Hutton, because he's one of those guys, and there's just a few of them you can point to that everyone has an opinion on him. right?
Yeah.
It is a total lightning rod thing. And I don't know a single person that's just like, oh, I think he's pretty good.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Everybody is. He is great. He is the savior to Colorado football. He's going to churn out more Heisman Trophy winners and pro talent, or he sucks. He's overrated. He's overhyped. There's no in the middle. We're going to find out where he is now starting this year. I truly believe that.
It's a great point to begin the show. Here's a branch on the tree of this discussion. Better at debating Stephen A. Smith or Deion Sanders on the stage?
I think Stephen A. Smith is better at debating. I think Deion Sanders on a stage would come across as more likable.
I mean,
than Stephen A. Smith. Wouldn't you agree?
He would be.
I think in a debate he would come across better. But Stephen A. Smith would be better at debating.
Yes, the debate. Yes, the likability. What is the Q rating?
Yeah,
Deion, and he would also be more of a pastor.
Yes.
So
he would get the evangelical vote.
Imagine
That's what we're saying.
Imagine the rating
over Stephen A. Smith
of Clay, Deion, and Stephen A. debating on a debate stage, quote unquote debate, whatever you want to call that now. It's not really a debate. It's more of the grandstanding that candidates take.
Before they start with the debate, just ask everybody to bow their heads for a word of prayer, and then Clay and Stephen A. Smith have to bow also while he does it to serve the crowd up with a prayer to begin.
One of the questions in the debate, Mr. Sanders, will you please rate your children, your favorite to least favorite, which he's done.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody says they don't have favorites, but I'm going to go and tell you mine right now.
It's Shador and Shiloh right there, 1A, 1B.
It's Shador. It's the one who got drafted, not the one who didn't.
Deion Sanders Jr. is there with the camera crew. They're doing their own version of the broadcast.
Well, we'll go ahead and start with last. It's Deion Jr. Can we go bottom up?
Well off media.
Having interviewed Deion Jr., I'm willing to bet that he's not going to admit that, but he's his least favorite kid.
I don't know. I think he did say he named names, like kids that had success and who didn't, and it was like because he was asked about Shador and Shiloh, like which is your favorite player or whatever, and he just started ranking them.
You know that Nick Saban has an adult son?
No. I only knew about the daughter who just recently got married. He has a son-in-law. I know that.
Yeah, he's got a son, Nicholas. Nick Jr. I sometimes just think about Nick Jr. and think, what's it like to be Nick Saban's son and not be like a superstar player, coach, or something in a profession?
Nick Saban Jr.
Nicholas. Well, he goes by Nicholas. Nicholas Saban.
Is Nick Saban's middle name Lou as well? Nicholas Lou Saban? Yeah, it would be. Interesting.
He's involved in the family's philanthropic efforts. Nicholas Saban, married to the previous Kelsey Laney. There he is, right there.
Nick Saban is the junior. This is the third.
So Nicholas Saban, yeah.
How about that? Anyway,
I just every so often I think about. We were talking about praying, and I just pray for Nicholas Saban being the son of Nick Saban.
How do you feel about being a junior?
I feel great about it if the first name was cool.
Oh, I'm saying someone said, I'm so good that I'm going to give you my name.
Yeah.
And then you have to pass it down. Why do you stop at isn't it the fourth or fifth where you stop doing it? There's no seventh.
Yeah, I think if if you're the one who starts it, my first thought is my dad is a narcissist for giving me his name. But if you're the fourth, fifth, or sixth, you're just passing on a family tradition.
But it stops.
And I'm fine with that.
I know of the fourth. We know of maybe even we know Kenneth Adams the fourth.
Yeah,
who's a grandson of Bud Adams. The fifth, to my knowledge, he doesn't have a son named Kenneth Adams.
I think it's a weird move if you don't have money. When I see a fourth, fifth, or sixth by name, I think this is a family lineage of, let's just say, people who've owned a lot of land.
It is a very wealthy tradition.
You know what I mean?
It's a wealthy tradition.
It's the people who own an entire town going back to 1840 something, and it just passed on from generation to generation. So now they have the 17th, or this family name's in that family. I think if you're lower middle class to poor, it's a weird move to give someone the third or fourth name.
But I think it started with.
That's not me being an elitist, by the way.
Oh, no.
Because I grew up, middle class. I just think it's odd when I see a number next to someone who's not rich.
Yeah, but it starts with someone who went through the Great Depression.
Correct. I assume you're loaded.
Some alpha in the Great Depression.
Well, Kenneth Adams IV is a great example.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Great.
When I meet, if I see Kenneth Adams and I hear Kenneth Adams IV, I'm like, this looks and feels like a Kenneth Adams IV. Someone with a 4 at the end of their name.
It's not presidential, it's royal.
Very royal. That's a
It's
good way
royal.
to put it. Meghan Markle would disagree, but everyone else would agree with that.
Fair.
It's
That's
very
fair.
royal.
Coming up, think about how many friends you have. Just contemplate that moment, that number for a moment. How many true ride or die friends you have? Because Mark Zuckerberg has a number for you. He's going to try to guess that, and then he's going to try to add to that number. That's next on Hot Mic.